Alright guys, so I was sitting around and thinking as usual, and I said, hey, I got this great YouTube channel with all these people watching. I also have a lot of crap. So I put one and one together and decided to show my stuff off. It also helps me justify keeping all this stuff for years and decades and whatnot. So what lays before you is my video game collection. And to give you a little insight, I'm 27 years old. Been playing games basically my entire life. My earliest memories were playing the Atari 2600 at my aunt's house. Playing the awesome E.T. game, which everyone should look for the ROMs for that great game. I did have an NES, probably when I was about 6 or 7 years old, which I no longer have. I probably traded it in at some point in the 90s for like Superman 64 or something. So I no longer have that. As a kid, I'm from a middle class family, so my parents weren't buying me a crazy amount of games, so I had like a couple games that I played a lot, like Street Fighter 2, Super Mario World, Sonic on the Genesis, and those were like the games I played mostly. And once I got a little older, I got a car, I got a job with money, I started adding to the collection. And through the years I've sold stuff, I've gotten other stuff, so what I'll show you in this series is basically what I have left. And yeah, so as you can see, this is the giant box of doom. Just start digging through it. I don't even really remember half the stuff that's in here, so shit. I see some Dreamcast stuff, so I guess we'll start with that, and then we'll go from there, because it's pretty much at the top. So, standard Dreamcast controller. Dreamcast was an awesome system, really ahead of its time. Had some great games on it. Now I got a lot of Dreamcast stuff that's like in the box. So this is going to be your VMU. I also have another VMU, two VMUs, different boxing. So basically, after the Dreamcast died, Dreamcast was an awesome system. Had a lot of great games. I really enjoyed it. It's the first system to have like online play, a lot of other things like that. And basically, at some point around the year 2000, people realized that you could download and burn the games. That really killed the system. So basically, when the stores decided they weren't going to carry Dreamcast stuff anymore, they were just blowing stuff out in my area. So this is from Toys R Us. I don't know where this is from, but basically, like, I got a lot of these things. I actually have like 5 new controllers in the box as well, just because the stores are basically selling this stuff for $1, towards the end of the Dreamcast era. There's a VMU out of the box, so pretty cool idea. I had like a little screen on it. It was like a Tamagotchi kind of deal. So. Nice and organized here. Now this is for the Dreamcast. This thing was gold in my circle of friends. This is probably, early in the 2000s. This is a PS2 to Dreamcast adapter. And as a big fighting game fan, big tournament player back then, basically a lot of, like, certain games on the Dreamcast, like Marvel 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, stuff like that. And pretty much everyone had a PlayStation 2 stick at that point. So you needed this little adapter in order to use your PlayStation 2 stick on the Dreamcast to play those games. So this was like a really big deal. This is probably worth some cash back in the day. People were really looking for these things. I probably had 2 or 3 of them at one point, and I've since sold them all. So, I don't know what that is. Alright, these are my Dreamcast games. And like I said, at some point, people realize they can burn all these games, but I still got certain ones just to have, because I'm kind of a little bit of a collector. Not too crazy, but Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. This is the game that came out before Third Strike, and I think it actually has the first game, the new generation, and Double Impact, so that's cool. This is actually Super Turbo on a burned disc. This is what I would use to play. This would just basically work on your system. You throw a boot disc in there, load it up. Sonic Adventure 2, pretty standard. If you have a Dreamcast, I'm sure you're going to have a Sonic game. This is Garu, Mark of the Wolves, Fatal Fury. Really good fighting game. Probably one of the most underrated games ever. Really awesome. King of Fighters Evolution. Not the greatest King of Fighters game ever, but, you know, a game nonetheless. Atari Collection. This is Giga Wing. It's a shooter, a shmup, I guess, shoot 'em up. And pretty fun. I think we now have the arcade board of this at Howard's house. So that's kind of an interesting thing. This is Gunbird 2. Another game like that. This one's actually really good. King of Fighters 99 Dreamcast. It's actually King of Fighters 98. And you can pick that up on the Xbox Live Arcade now. So it's a good game. Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Classic stuff. This is your Dreamcast boot CD. And I would go into like Chinatown in New York, and then I think I actually bought this there. So, for like a couple bucks. And this is Super Puzzle Fighter 2, which was also burned, and it's like it looks like someone made like a custom art on it that's peeling and shit. So, pretty great. Where's the Dreamcast systems? I want to know. I think I see it. Okay, so this is your Dreamcast system. Great system, really enjoyed it. I was always a fan of the Sega systems. It's a shame that they stopped doing that. But it was really quality, it was good. And yeah, it was just sad that people figured out how to do that. Although I remember my friend called me and said, I just burned every Dreamcast game ever. And I went to his house, and it was like the floodgates had opened. It was a pretty crazy day. I remember there's this one game, it was like a train. It was all in Japanese, and it was like a train game. I think it was made for like people like train operators. It was insane. No one couldn't figure out how to play it. But this is my Dreamcast system. I got this actually probably a year or two after the Dreamcast came out. I actually got it used. A lot of this stuff I've gotten used or picked up over the years. There's a store called Funkoland, which was an awesome store in the 90s and the 2000, early part of the 2000, before GameStop bought them out and then turned it into a shitty GameStop. But yeah, we used to have a couple of good stores in my area. Funkoland was one of them. That was pretty much the only place to go to trade games in, or sell your games, which was like even before eBay existed. So that was a cool place. And a lot of stuff came from there. I also should add, I've had various jobs over the years that allowed me to get games at discount prices. So it's part of the reason why I have a lot of stuff. So I don't see any other Dreamcast stuff. So moving on here. Oh, what the what is this? Okay, so this is basically an American arcade stick. Now, back in the early days, pretty much everyone that went to tournaments used an American stick. And it was this big giant stick called a Moss stick. Some of you might know what that is. I had one, Phil had one, a couple other people. It's a big giant wooden stick. And you had these American ball top sticks. Or bat top sticks, whatever. And I'd say around 2006 is when my friend Min got a Hori stick. Real Arcade Pro, and then I showed it to me, and I loved it, so I actually imported one, and they were hard to get, the Japanese sticks, and I think in our community, we were like the first couple people to have them. And then basically, now everyone uses the Japanese stick, like the TE stick and all that stuff. So yeah, so pretty much we all sold our old American sticks. I've been using a Japanese stick for a long time now, so I don't really know why I have this. I guess just in case I ever need to use an American stick again, I have it. Something like that. Man. This is an Xbox, PlayStation to Xbox adapter, and that was the same kind of deal as the Dreamcast thing. People had like if you have a PS2 stick, and then someone was playing something on the Xbox. I think probably Capcom vs. SNK 2 came out on the Xbox Live, even though it sucked balls. It came out on Xbox Live probably like 2003, something like that. So I probably bought this for that. So that was like the really early stages of online Street Fighter. It was like the first one. It sucked, so whatever. Yeah, we do this. Nintendo GameCube. Standard. I was actually working at Toys R Us at the time when I got this. I got it not when it first came out. The launches were pretty horrible. I actually got it when Mario Sunshine was released. That's when I picked that up. And yeah, probably the worst Nintendo system. This wasn't a lot of games. Didn't really give a crap about it. So it had its moments. I played Mario Kart. It was a big one. But we used to have a lot of people used to play that together. Smash Brothers I didn't play too much. I don't know. It is what it is. It's the GameCube. I'm sure you all know about it by now. This is your Wavebird controller, which works on the Wii, so a lot of people are looking for these. I actually sold 2 of them on eBay probably like 2 years ago for a pretty penny, so I kept one. This is the last one that I have. Here's your standard Wii GameCube controller. What a fucking bizarre thing it was. I don't know what they were really thinking with this thing. I think they tend to just try to be different, but it doesn't really make it better or good. It's just like it's different. So, kind of a strange thing. This is a GBA to GameCube adapter. If you don't know, basically certain games, you plug your GBA into this thing, and then this goes into the GameCube. So you're like, oh, so I get to play my GBA games on my GameCube? No. Basically, certain games like the Wind Waker, Zelda Wind Waker, stuff like that, it would give you like extra stuff if you hooked up your GBA, like something on the GBA screen that like applied to the actual game. So I don't know. It was one of those stupid Nintendo rip-off things, kind of like the expansion pack on the 64 or the Wii Motion Plus, like just like an extra thing that they make you buy, and of course I buy it. So I'm not smart. So looks like there's a couple Nintendo 64 games. Got your Mario 64. Good stuff. This one I actually really liked. I don't know if people played this or think it's good, but it actually is good. It was actually really fun. And this was back when, a couple of years back, so I used to play this with my family members and stuff, and we had a good time with that game. Of course, your Mario Kart. Awesome stuff. Really like that one. Might be the best of the Mario Karts. I'd say the Super Nintendo and the 64 ones are probably the best. Probably because they had the least amount of graphical power to work with, so they had to just try to make the game good. But then they have this in the box. I remember getting this from the store when I was younger. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It's in the box. Got a nice gold prism kind of shit on it. So that's good stuff, man. Enjoyed that one. And then stick with the Nintendo. This is a PlayStation 2 to GameCube controller converter. Got a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff is hard to find. A lot of this stuff came from Hong Kong. Different websites and stuff. I think I got this for F-Zero on the GameCube because I just didn't like the controller for that thing. So I tried a PS2 controller, but I think it added lag and other problems. So you can actually also use this for the Wii. If you have a PlayStation 2 stick, you can plug this into the Wii, so it turns into like a PS2 to Wii converter as well. If you want to play like Tatsunoko Capcom, or if you don't want to play a shitty game, you can play something else. So, alright, so I'll split this up and then we'll do the rest of this thing. Then I gotta clean all this shit up. Great.